Got no excuses on the boat.
The sights and sounds of Earth.
Check.
The sights and sounds of Earth. The sights and sounds of Earth. The sights and sounds of Earth. The sights and sounds of
All right, everybody, welcome in. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth, and I hope you guys can hear me okay. We're going to do a sound check here and make sure you guys can hear me okay. But this is the Sights and Sounds for Earth tonight. We are doing it early. I've had a hell of a weekend. We've worked hard on all this equipment, and we've had some victories and we've had some defeats. And yeah. Anyway, doing my best here to keep things rolling in the right direction. All right. So I'm heading back to my home, to where the studio is, and as of tomorrow night, we'll be back to a standard, ready-to-go studio show back at the house again. But there was no time to finish up what I had to do today and get back to the house in time for a studio show tonight. So I figured I would just go on early and enjoy the 2-hour ride with you guys, and then the moment that I get home, I'm going to cut it off and I'm going to unload my car. I've got about an hour's worth of chores and things I'm going to have to do at the house, and then I'm going to be heading to bed. I'm tired. It's been a long weekend. I don't know why the windshield is so shitty. I don't get it. I clean this thing and it doesn't seem to make any difference at all. I don't know. Maybe I'll pull over and try to clean it again. I just don't know what else to do. No matter what I do, there's these nasty streaks all through it. I'm starting to wonder if there's something wrong with the glass in this car. I thought it was the window tint. They took all the window tinting off, front and back. These idiots even had the window tinting on the front window. Who does that? It's illegal as shit.
In half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to exit right to I-75 south toward Tampa, St. Petersburg.
All right. Fly Guy, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Hey, Carlotta. Hey, Ron, how's it going? Got the cops just sitting out here wasting time and wasting money as usual. They're sitting here with their blue lights on. They're just sitting, not doing anything, just sitting, just soaking up that money. Soak that shit up. So unneeded. So completely unnecessary.
I-75 south toward Tampa, St. Petersburg.
All right. So there's a long list of things we tried to do this weekend. We had all kinds of issues with the HF antennas. I bought another HF antenna base, brought it back, and it's worse than the other one. So I don't know what to do at this point. We're kind of at a loss. We put the same setup on his truck, and it does a little bit better, but still not great. We put his setup on my car, and it does better, but not great. So we're not really sure what's going on. I don't know if it has something to do with the car's grounding. We've pretty much ruled out the radio as the problem. I'm going to be contacting HRO in the morning and letting them know that I do believe we've got this figured out, and I don't think it's the radio. Because they're working with me right now to get me online. So, all right. So this is the 275 bypass here.
In half a mile, use the left 4 lanes to continue straight.
And this is, and by the way, I know how to get home. I always use the Waze routing because it will route me around accidents and things like that. So that's why I'm using it. I obviously have drove between Land O'Lakes and Fort Myers about 1,000 times in my life, so I know exactly how to get home.
I-75 south toward Naples.
But that being said, I like to see the stats. I like to know, I like to beat that ETA. That's always my goal, is to beat that ETA.
168.4 miles to exit 158, County Road 762, Tucker's Grade toward North Fort Myers, Cape Coral.
All right, so let's see what's going on here. Richard, thank you for coming in. And who else we got? I said Ron and Fly. I think I got you guys already. Hey, Victor, what's up, buddy? You know, I got to tell you, I'm going to say something now that might upset some of you, but I'm always honest, you know. I try to be honest. If I don't like something, I tell you. I was just in a restaurant with 2 good friends, and we're sitting in there eating very good food, by the way. We love this restaurant. And we're sitting in there eating. It's kind of in a community. It's not really like a Denny's or something like that. It's kind of a small restaurant in like a little area. Anyway, we're sitting in there and we're eating and we're minding our own business and everything's going great, and we're right in the middle of a discussion between the three of us, and all of a sudden 20 people come walking in the door, and I'm like, where are all these people doing? They're all walking in, they all got papers in their hand. I felt like I was about to get served a subpoena or something. All of a sudden they start singing. I'm like, oh no. I gotta tell you guys, I have an aversion to that. I don't know what it is. People ask me why I don't go to church. Well, it's mostly the singing. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. And when these people walked into our dinner and literally surrounded our table, it made me extremely uncomfortable. And all three of us were very uncomfortable. And out of a habit, we all three picked up our phones and started scrolling through the news. It literally was like an unconscious thing that happened. We all just picked up our phone and started ignoring these people that were interrupting our dinner. We were literally right in the middle of a phone conversation. Yeah, they're Christmas carolers. Hey, Sludgeon, I missed your super last night, buddy. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, they literally, they walked in and they just like surrounded our table completely, and they're singing like really loud, and they were literally singing over our conversation. And you know, if you say something or if you complain, then you're the asshole because they're doing something fun. They're doing something to bring in the spirit of Christmas. I don't give a shit. You made me uncomfortable. There's a reason I don't go to church. All that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. I don't sing in public. I don't want to be expected to sing in public. And I don't go to stage shows. I don't like stage shows. If I'm in a restaurant and a guy comes out and he walks over to my table and he starts singing, I get up and walk out. It's happened twice in my life. Once at that restaurant in North Fort Myers, or in East Fort Myers. Don't embarrass me like that. I want to sit there and eat my goddamn meal without being embarrassed. I don't know why. Why do we have to embarrass people? You know, when I was a cop, one of my pet peeves was I would go out and work 4 or 5 hours. I'd work hard for people. I'd try to find bad guys. I'd try to make good arrests. I'd try to, help the public and shit. And then I finally get a 10-10 and I get to go eat. And I go to Denny's or Perkins or one of those places where you always see cops eating. It's because they get a 50% discount there is why. Anyway, they go in, they sit down, they start the instant line of people wanting to talk to you. They'll walk up, hey, I know you guys are eating, but if you guys don't mind, my neighbor's got this swing set and it's partially on my property. And it's like, you know what? Go F yourself, dude. Call in a complaint. We'll come to your house. I'll take care of it. All right? But I'm eating my lunch right now. I'm eating my dinner. This is right in the middle of my shift. And I think that's where it comes from. At the fire department, I would cook a beautiful meal. And we would sit down to eat it, and the alarm would go off, and the lights would come on, and we'd have to jump in the truck, and we'd have to go. We'd have to run to a call, and my food is sitting there getting cold and dried up on the table that I cooked. And so I think between all those different reasons, for some reason, that and the fact that even as a child, I was brought to church by cars down there in the ditch. It must have ran off the road and he's stuck now. Even when I was a child, I was brought to my friend's church a couple of times. And we would go in and I would sit there and I just remember being so hyper embarrassed. Absolutely hyper embarrassed. And I hated it. And after the first couple of times, I told him, I said, nothing against you or your mom or your church. I'm not going anymore. It makes me highly uncomfortable. And he's like, well, the words are in the song, in the book. You just get the book and you read along like you're singing. I'm like, no. What are you, nuts? I don't sing in front of people. Yeah, that's the thing. They walked in, and this is not a huge restaurant. This is about maybe the size of like an Arby's inside, or maybe a little more. It's not that big a restaurant. It's a sit down. It's a nice. It's not 5 stars, but it's a nice place. And it just really it really irked me. It's like, what are you people doing? We wish you would get the F out. Yeah, that's maybe what we should have done is called security and have it removed. Excuse me, these people are bothering us. And I sound like a real asshole. I'm sure 3 people have already unsubscribed to me because of all the terrible things I just said. But the truth is it's the way it is. And I could tell everybody else was that way too. I only saw one lady in there. There was one lady in there that seemed like she was happy to see these people. No one else. There must be a wreck on the other side of the road. We got all kinds of emergency vehicles going by. That looks like an engine right there. You can always tell it's an engine and not an ambulance because there's no big white light in the middle in the front. That's required on every ambulance. Anyway, yeah, there you go. I don't know if I told somebody. I got a friend of mine that's religious, and he asked me a while back. He's like, "Why don't you come to church? I'll bring you with me. We'll go have a good time." I said, "You know, dude, I would be okay with that, but first of all the embarrassing things that happen in church, I just don't want no part of. And next thing you know, they'll want me to go up there and stand up there and be embarrassed in front of everybody and stand up and give my name and say what town I'm from and stand up and sing all these songs and I'm like, it scares me to death to go into places like that. And I'm on the air for a living. I'm on YouTube right now. It's not that I'm shy. It's just something I don't feel comfortable doing. It's weird. I've had it my whole life. I find that there's a lot of other people. You come to my house assuming that I want to stay. You come to my house assuming that I want to stand in my doorway with some shit-eating grin on my face while you stand there and sing music all out of tune and shit? That's all right. That's all right. I'll go back in and put the radio on. I know I'm pissing people off, and I'm kind of overdoing it a little bit for the dramaticism of it, but you know, the truth is, it really pissed me off tonight. I was like, I'm enjoying this meal. It's really good. The company's great. Everything's great. The weather's great. And then we were attacked by carolers. Audio's in and out. Well, I don't know why that would be. Of course, there's all kinds of issues. We've had issues all weekend. Nothing we tried to do all weekend has worked properly, and this is no different. I don't even think it's on the right microphone. I don't even know which microphone you guys are on. I set it on the right one, but it doesn't seem like it's on the right one. Can you hear me now? Check, check. Nope, that's not it either. This fucking sucks. Check, check. All right, I'm going to leave it on this. I know it's the wrong mic, but I can't get it to go to the right microphone, so. All right, well, this is using one of the mics on one of my cameras instead of the mic I've got set up because that mic's not freaking working. Guys, I'm telling you, I have such a hard time with equipment. I really should not even try this YouTube channel. I never should have tried this. It's been a fucking disaster from the very beginning. No matter what I do, it never works. You guys have no idea the hours and hours and hours I spent trying to get this shit to work together, trying to get it to, I plug it in, it doesn't work. I've spent $400 right now on HF antenna equipment, and I still have no good HF antenna. So I just give up. You know, it's like I don't even know what I'm really supposed to do at this point. It's like I could do a mediocre bullshit show just like everybody else does. Just come on with my dirty laundry in the background and talk about what I'm doing with my useless life like everybody else does. I try hard. I try to put on a regular show. I try to make it more network. I try to make it more entertaining and I try to bring the quality of it up. And I'm fought constantly by this fucking equipment that doesn't want to work right. None of this equipment works right. All the drivers don't work right. Windows, bullshit. I'm so sick of it, I can't stand it anymore. All I want to do is I want to go on the air and I want to produce a show. I don't understand why it has to be this way. Why does it have to be this way to where every single time I try to do anything, it fights me. It fights me, it fights me, it fights me. Everybody else I know, they plug the shit in and it works. You know what? People are not allowed to use the term plug and play around me. You are not allowed to use that term. I've never had a plug and play item in my life. I've never once had anything ever, not once in my life, plug and play. Not once. And so don't even use that term around me because it doesn't exist. I have fought this all weekend. We fought to get a show on last night. It didn't happen. Between the traffic and the technology and the amount of time it takes to set up this stupid shit. I'm sorry, I don't mean to vent on you guys tonight, but I'm very frustrated with this equipment. No matter how many hours I spend working on it and trying to get it all working, the moment I click the live button, it all falls to pieces. The bottom line is I can't do this myself. I need an assistant. I need a producer. I need somebody to be with me that can produce these shows while I'm talking. But that's never going to happen. So I don't know what to do. There's no way to more automate what I'm doing now that I know of. I don't know what I could possibly do to make this even work any better than it's working now. Yet it's not working. It's every single day I fight with the microphone feeds. Every single day I fight with the video feeds. Every single day I fight with the multi-screen. I fight with the studio. It's just nuts. I just don't understand why it has to be this way. And then I watch other people and they just plug it in and it goes boop boop and it comes up and they're like, and there's the screen. I'm like, that's never happened for me. It never happens for me. And now I got this Windows 11 laptop and I don't know how to do anything in it. The sound settings are terrible. I've tried to convert as much of it back to Windows 10 as possible. But the problem is there's certain things like sound settings and stuff that are just intrinsically a part of Windows 11. I cannot put a new UI on the sound system, if you know what I mean. So I'm stuck with it. I'm literally stuck with a computer that works less, does less, performs less than what I had before with Windows 10. I fucking hate Windows 11. And now I'm stuck with it. Oh, here we go. 8 o'clock at night or some shit. We got slowdowns on the interstate. I don't know, I'm just having a hard time tonight because I see what I want to do and I'm starting to feel like I'm never going to get it to work. I wanted to work radio or work FT8 or something on the way home, but the only band I get's a day band right now, and so the radio's no good tonight. I got the FT8 up so you guys can see what's left, but the band is closing up right now. It's a day band. I'd love to work POTA on the way home, but I would need 40 meters to work POTA. There's been some good news this weekend. I bought a 16-channel Motorola Max Track. A great radio, very similar to the radios that we had in our fire trucks when I was a firefighter. And they work very well. It's a Motorola, obviously, 16 channels. And it still has the good Motorola mic and everything else. And I turned it on. I've tried it out. I've tested it. Everything. It's 100%. It works 100%. And it's already set for the 16 GMRS channels. So I'm eventually, Joseph has a cable. When he finds it, we're going to be reprogramming it again. This time, when we reprogram it, I'm going to put some local channels in, and it's going to become my base radio at home for UHF. A MacBook. Oh God. No thanks. The only thing I hate worse than Windows in this world is Apple. I'm sorry. It's so proprietary. It's so disgusting. It's so hard to use. There's some good things about it, but the good things certainly don't outweigh the bad things. And I couldn't afford to rebuy all my programs and rebuy all my subscriptions and everything with an Apple, because everything costs 3 times as much with Apple. I got two of my talent guys at work both use Apple, and the money they spend on it is just ludicrous. He was showing me he's got 63 apps in his phone, and 59 of them cost money. I'm like, look, I got 72 apps in my phone. I didn't pay for an effing one of them. Not one app have I paid for, ever. That's why you get Android. My God, people have no idea how they're milked. I don't know. I understand the equipment's a little better. I understand the operating system is a little more stable. It certainly isn't easier to use, but it might be a little more stable in the long run. It handles audio and video well. As a matter of fact, most of the guys that are in video editing that I know love their MacBooks. But if you buy an i9 like mine here, it's got the big Ryzen 9 chip in it and everything else. This runs faster than a MacBook. This is a gaming PC. So I don't know. I don't think that's my answer. I really don't, because number one, I can't relearn an entire operating system. I find Apple to be so difficult to use. I just hate it. And so there's no way I can learn a whole new operating system just so that I can use a computer. That's just ridiculous. You're making the switch to Apple? Everybody I know is switching away from Apple. It's just gotten too damn expensive. They rape you for everything. I don't pay for nothing on Windows. And then if you want to hack shit, you really don't have to pay for nothing on Windows. Linux would be a great choice, but again, I don't know how to use Linux. I've got Linux on a computer at home. It's completely foreign to me. I'll be doing fine. All of a sudden, it comes up to a command prompt. What the F do I type in there? I would have no idea what to type in there. And so everything I try to do on that Linux machine just leads me to a dead end because I don't know what to type in the command box. So I can't use a system where I have to memorize thousands of things to type into a command box. So the programs I was able to install and they populated properly, I can use. Like Radar Omega, I can use. OBS Studio, I use on the Linux machine. And like Chrome, I got to work on there. But most things I've tried to run on that Linux machine won't run. It won't run my scanner programs. It won't run a lot of different apps and different programs. So I don't know what to do with it. I need to be a lot smarter to use Linux. I'm not near smart enough to use Linux. That's like a smart kid computer. Which brings me back to Windows again. You don't have a lot of options out there, guys. There's not a lot of options. And you got a really expensive one that works okay. Maybe a little better than what you have, but it's very expensive. And then you got another option that's free, and it works really, really well, except it's extremely complicated to use. Very, very user-friendly. It's got a user interface like somebody that like is a computer geek would be able to use. Anytime a computer comes up and tells me to type in a prompt, I'm in trouble because I have no idea what it wants me to type. It brings me back to the 1990s, and it just keeps popping up saying syntax error, and it won't tell you what's wrong, just that there's a syntax error. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll find somebody that knows something about Linux that can help me get the rest of these programs installed in it. I am using it right now. I am able to put up a broadcast with it, and it broadcasts for weeks without going down. I had that thing up one time for 10 days, and all I did was go in twice a day and refresh anything or, reload this or that. That was all I was doing. I wasn't doing anything else to it. That's it. So I just, it is what it is. It is 70 degrees right here where we're driving, 70 degrees. And we're going for a low tonight of, I think, 62. High tomorrow back up. I think the high today was like 84, 83. It was nice. It was a little just slightly warm in the sun, and there was a breeze. It was beautiful. Beautiful day down here. These are the days we live for down here in Florida. We stay inside our homes from April 15th, clear through till October 30th. We don't get to leave our homes. And because the heat is just unbearable every single day. Then all of us, is this guy ever going to get out of the way, or is he's riding all the way up there in the left lane, I guess. I hate people like this. This guy should lose his license for driving like this. He's just putzing down the left lane. He'll slow down to 70, he'll speed up to 90, he'll slow back down to 70 again. And he's on the phone, he's having a good time, and he's in the left lane, he's in the passing lane, not letting me pass. He may be texting the way he's all over the road. I'm driving straighter than him, and I'm doing a broadcast. I'm sorry about all those streaks in the window. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm looking at other ways to broadcast. I'm thinking about buying one of those remote control spotlights that go on your roof, and then gutting out the spotlight and putting the camera inside the housing. And that way it will pan, tilt, and zoom while it's inside a weatherproof housing. And it will save me about $4,000 off of the broadcast version of the same thing. We did have an early winter this year. Just so you guys know, temperatures work on about a 6-week oscillation. The jet stream works on about a 4 to 6 week oscillation. So in other words, you're going to get a really, really cold week, and then you're going to have 3 or 4 transitional weeks, and then you're going to have a really warm week, and then 2 or 3 transitional weeks, and then a really, really cold week. If you look at that, that holds steady pretty much all the time, especially in the winter. You'll see that if you have a really, really cold October, you'll have a mild November. If you have a really, really cold December, you'll have a mild January. It's kind of the way it goes, and when you start following it, it really is the way it goes. Is you ever going to get out of the way? See, this guy in front of me is an absolute moron. Now he's passing somebody now, so he's okay. But he needs to relinquish that lane. I'll tell you what, slow drivers blow me up more than anything, because when you drive slow in the left lane like this, you are holding up everybody else that's behind you. It is the most selfish, rude thing you can do on the road, is to sit over here in a fast lane and go slow. I don't know what that was. So yeah, to answer your question, it was early for these temps. We saw a much colder than normal November. However, now we're seeing a moderate December. We're starting to see everything kind of moderate a little bit. I know there's still really cold in the Northeast right now, some snow and things like that. But I think in the next week, you're going to see all that moderate. Well, this guy's a real piece of shit. In a perfect world, he'd be standing there with that car hanging out of his ass. He's not going to relinquish that lane, even though the law requires him to. There you go, smartass. There you go. That's how it works, you stupid asshole. Goddamn, people are stupid. He ain't got enough brain cells to rub together and start a fire. Make up his mind. He couldn't make up a salad. Jesus. Now everybody's getting to go by him now anyway. I finally got him out of the way. I got some serious high beams. I put these high beams in myself. Yeah, they're about twice as bright as the ones that came on the car. Well, actually, they're more than that, because there was incandescent. I took the incandescent ones out and put LED ones in that are probably 2 or 3 times as bright. The low beams are standard, but the high beams are not. I bought auxiliary driving lights, but there's absolutely no way to install them on this car unless I put a light bar on the roof or something. So I gave up on those. I gave them to Joseph. They were beautiful lights too. I really wanted to put them on here, but they're going to look good on his truck. There is nowhere to mount auxiliary lighting to these cars. That's why when you do see auxiliary lighting on a car, they're putting them on the corners of the hood now. Back up here on the hood, right by the windshield. That's where they're putting them because there is nowhere to put them. I'm not going to put mine there because I don't like the look. So we're just going to live without them. The driving lights, I bought bulbs for the driving lights. They won't fit in the holes. They're the proper bulbs, but for some reason they're aftermarket and they won't fit in the holes properly. So I'm still working on that, but eventually I'll have a set of bright yellow off-road driving lights, or driving lights, I should say, that come on as well, in addition to what I already have. That was a semi went by honking the air horns. That's what you just heard, if you heard that at all. Let's see. Yeah, AI should be able to fire the phasers. I'll tell you, I can't wait till AI can help me with this broadcast more than it does. But it may eventually one day. Yes, and tries, guess what? You're required to yield to him. It doesn't matter if you're doing 150 and he's doing 153. You are required by law to yield to him in all 50 states. Because the law doesn't say anything about him doing anything wrong or you doing anything wrong. The law doesn't say anything about, if anybody's above or below the posted speed limit or any of that. All it says is if you are approached in the left lane by faster moving traffic, you must yield. It also says traffic should remain out of the left lane except to pass. That's the verbiage. So yeah, it's one of those things. I get what you're saying. You're already going at a fast speed. He's going crazy speed. I get it, but maybe the best thing to do is just let him go by. It's free country. He goes as fast as he wants, in my opinion. I don't drive that way. I go about 80 is what I do at the most. I go between 70 and 80. That's what I do. If I can get in with a bunch of traffic running, maybe I'll go a little bit, but for the most part, see, here's another car sitting in the left lane. That car in front of me just decided to go around him. If we just go around them, they never fucking learn. I think we should be able to bump them into the wall. It works in NASCAR. I'll tell you what, you get some slow asshole in the lane, you get up next to him, you put his ass into the wall. I guarantee you 7 days later when he takes delivery of his next car, he won't drive like that. People got to realize when you're driving slow and you're blocking people and not letting them go by because you don't like how fast they're driving or how they're driving, or you purposely kind of even up with somebody so people can't get around you. That's un-American. This is a free country. We have the right to move at the speed we want. If the cops don't like it, they can take your license away. But the point is you can go as fast as you want. And it's no one's job to say anything about how fast you're going except the police. Unless you're driving recklessly. At that point, then you can be called into the police. But the point is I just wish that everybody would cooperate. Everybody get out of the left lane. That's all. Now, he's up behind another car, so we're fine right here. I'm not harassing him because he's up behind another car. Now, if that car in front of him moves away, I would start getting up his ass again. But it looks like he just figured it out. He just woke up. Congratulations. Welcome back to the world. It's Florida. We have a real problem down here with geriatric drivers. And I'm almost a geriatric myself. Like I always say, I'm allowed to talk about fat people because I'm fat. Well, I'm allowed to talk about old people because I'm getting old. Well, here we go. There's so many old people down here that when you get out on the road during the day, sometimes you're doing 15 or 20 under the posted speed limit. It's crazy. Crazy. but it's the nature of the beast. It's great to live down here. We have great roads. We have low taxes. We have everything down here. Great weather. You just have to put up with the slow drivers on the road. That's all. And I do. I'm okay with it. Well, that's some wicked lights. Is all that necessary? Why do you suppose all that would be necessary for him to leave all those lights on? Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what just happened. The computer went to sleep or something. I've never seen that like that. I don't know. I don't know what just happened back there, but everybody's all squirreling around. Hopefully nobody hit nothing. All right, so anyway, Jesus, I don't know what just happened, but we're still on here anyway. No one's in an accident. I'm fine. Everything's good. Basically, we did get FT8 working, but only because we had to turn off the rig control. For some reason, we hooked it up to Joseph hooked it up to his computer, and of course, it worked perfectly. I've connected it to 3 different computers on 2 different operating systems, and it never worked. However, Joseph installed it into his, and it works fine. He also double-checked my installs, and they're correct. So we couldn't figure out. It works on his, it doesn't work on mine. Why is that? Well, guess what? If we turn off the rig control, the audio comes on and starts working, and you can transmit. So what we've had to do is change it to Vox, turn off rig control, and basically control the radio manually, and the transmitter is taken care of by the voice-activated circuit inside the radio. That's how we had to do it. So yeah, it's a rig. It's a brand new radio, and yet it's rigged. But we concluded that there's nothing wrong with the radio. Here's those purple lights. We concluded that there's nothing wrong with the radio. So it comes down to the fact that it just doesn't like any of my computers, apparently. I don't know what I'm going to do. I hate to send the radio back when I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's ridiculous that they sell this equipment, and it's just so complicated, and sometimes you buy it and you never ever actually get it working. I don't know how many hams I've talked to that'll tell me, oh yeah, see that? Yeah, I bought that a while back, that hotspot or that Pi or that repeater thing. I bought that thing and I never could get it working. Just sat it over there on the shelf. I'm like, there's so much of that. And it's because everything is so effing complicated. It doesn't have to be that way. So yeah, the whole idea was I was not able to get the FT8. I did get it working on the workaround. It's a workaround, but it is working. So there you go. All right, so what else is going on out there, guys? Give me something. We are passing State Road 70 southbound, Bradenton, Arcadia. I could go home that way. It's a little bit out of the way, but it's a lot of neat back roads. Take 70 to Arcadia, and then you can take that all the way to 74 back to Charlotte County. It's just way out of the way. Or you can take 31 south, which puts me east of my house when I get home. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. Oh my God. You know, yeah, people talk about Tampa traffic and Miami traffic. You don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but Orlando traffic is freaking terrible. It's really bad. Yep, I definitely agree. That Orlando traffic is terrible. All right, as you can see, we're not many stations left on FT8 now because we are on the day band of 20 meters. 20 meters, mostly a day band. Some people will argue it's also a night band. I disagree. It is not a night band. Sometimes if the conditions are right, you can work it at night, but it's really not a night band. See, we're going slow now, but we're behind us the whole line of traffic because we've got some asshole up here in the left lane. Yeah, and just so you know, TriSpot, it's not that I'm a law nerd or anything. I was a cop a long time ago. I actually was a deputy sheriff for about 8 years. It was while I was at the fire department full time. I did it part time, and I enjoyed it. It was good. Law enforcement ain't what it used to be. Let me just put it that way. No, thank you. What? Why did that camera turn back towards the front? I don't. Why is it doing this? It's like all these cameras have turned sideways now. Why would it even do that? God damn it. That really makes me mad. See, things shouldn't be able to move on their own like that. What's going on? Sorry about that. I don't know what. The camera's turned to the side. Ignorant bullshit. I don't know if I'm ever going to work out all the bugs and glitches with all this stuff. When we originally designed the storm chase vehicle that we wanted to build, it was going to have a driver, and it was going to have a navigator, and it was going to have a producer in the back. And the producer would have a full console, and he'd be able to monitor all the cameras at one time, and he'd be able to take which cameras he wanted to take, and so on. Waze just said there's a cop up here somewhere, but we're all slowing down anyway, so I guess it really don't matter. Construction. Don't get me started on construction. It takes them way too long to build anything nowadays. Look at this bullshit. There's the cop. They pay these guys $60 or $80 an hour to sit out here with their blue lights on. They don't even write tickets. They just sit out here. That's all they do. They just sit out here for no reason. Just sitting there. I'm like, why don't you just park a cop car there with the blue lights on and then come pick it up at the end of the shift? And look how much money you would save. Just park it there. Give the construction guys the key to the damn thing. And if they need to move it, they can move it. But just leave the car there with the blue lights on. We don't need the cop sitting in it. He ain't going to do nothing. He doesn't pull anybody over. He just sits there with the lights on. That's his only job. There's another one up here somewhere. At least they're working at night. That's something we're trying to do more and more down here in Florida, is get people to work, get these construction companies to get this work done at night. They should work 3 shifts a day, 6 days a week. That's the bottom line. Because right now, some of these construction sites, like down in my area, one of them, they're working 4 or 5 days a week, 1 8-hour shift a day. That's it. And it's taking them a year to improve 1.5 miles of road. And all right, let's try that. Can you guys hear me? This thing is fighting me. You have no idea. It's fighting me to keep this broadcast online. I just had to do another reset to get it to go again. And I don't know. I don't know why it's fighting me. The computer just completely blanks out. And then I have to restart it. Not restart it, but just wake it up or something. I've got all the sleep and hibernate and all that shit turned off. It's one of the first things I do when I get a computer is turn off sleep and hibernate and all that other bullshit that takes control away from you while you're on a broadcast. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know why it's like that, whatever.